Gold increased 27% in 2025. Impressive, right? Except there's a firearm that tripled in value over the same period. Another jumped from $5,000 to $15,000 in 10 years. A third sold for $411,250 at auction in May 2025, setting a world record for its category. While stock portfolios crashed and crypto tanked, certain firearms quietly became the most profitable investments nobody talks about. And the window to buy in? It's closing fast. Something changed in the firearms market. Walk into Rock Island Auction Company today and you'll see bidding wars that would make Wall Street traders nervous. Rarity and popularity both drive demand for vintage classics, and famous models from well-known manufacturers have seen their true gun value ticking upward. From high-condition investment pieces to range-ready working arms, guns from the first half of the 20th century are hotter than ever before. Even bargain bin Mosin Nagant rifles have increased in value in recent years. One collector bought his first Springfield M1903 for $100. Now they regularly trade for over $1,200. He paid $500 for a Winchester M1897 trench gun. It's currently worth nearly 10 times that amount. But here's the reality check. Most semi-auto firearms lose 30 to 40% of their value the moment you walk out of the store. So, which firearms actually appreciate? Let's count down the 12 models rising faster than gold. At number 12, Colt Single Action Army revolvers. The gun that won the West is winning the auction block. Colt invented and perfected the revolver starting in 1836. The Single Action Army, first built in 1873, became what we commonly refer to as cowboy pistols. Generally speaking, Colt revolvers hold their value depending on the model, condition, and when it was produced. Older Colt revolvers have higher value than newer ones. Many older Colts are coveted by collectors. A Colt Single Action Army revolver that once belonged to former United States President Teddy Roosevelt sold for $1.4 million, more than double the expected $550,000 estimate. Even standard production models appreciate steadily. The combination of historical significance, Western mythology, and limited production of vintage examples drives values consistently upward. Rock Island Auction regularly features SAA revolvers selling for premium prices. At number 11, Winchester Model 70, Pre-64. The rifle so good that Winchester's improvements destroyed its value. The pre-1964 Winchester Model 70 is probably the most sought-after Model 70 variant due to its craftsmanship and reputation as one of the most praised rifles of its kind. These rifles feature controlled round feeding design and a blade-type ejector better than the Mauser 98s. Current average used values run $900 to $2,000, but rare variants command significantly more. Pre-64 supergrade models average $2,711.55, and demand has risen 3 units over the past 12 months. The demand for used Pre-64 Model 70 rifles has risen 32 units over the past 12 months. The true gun value for classic sporting arms like the Winchester Model 70 has rapidly risen in recent years, particularly models with rare features and chamberings. Winchester changed the design in 1964 to cut costs. Collectors rejected the changes. That mistake created a permanent market divide where anything made before 1964 commands premium pricing. Investment-grade pre-64 models in scarce calibers like .220 Swift sell for thousands above standard examples. At number 10, Walther WA 2000 Sniper Rifle, the rarest production sniper rifle in existence. Recognized instantly for its unusual bullpup configuration and sleek form, the WA 2000 remains a remarkable example of advanced firearm engineering. Prices steadily climb as interest intensifies, solidifying its place as a prestigious collectible and secure investment. Walther produced only 176 WA 2000 rifles between 1982 and 1988. That's it. Total production. Most went to military and law enforcement agencies. Only a handful entered civilian hands. The extreme rarity, combined with iconic appearances in video games and movies, created insatiable collector demand. Current market prices? If you can even find one for sale, expect $75,000 minimum. Pristine examples with original accessories command over $100,000. And unlike most firearms, the WA 2000 shows no signs of value plateau. Every year brings fewer available examples as collectors refuse to sell. At number 9, Colt Python, first-year production, the snake gun that bit back with appreciation. Considering only 299 Pythons were manufactured in 1955, their first year of production, these extraordinarily scarce revolvers outperform their second-year siblings substantially. The price difference is substantial, averaging $25,875 in 2020. First-year production, Colt Pythons climbed to an astounding $29,950 in 2021. For comparison, the Python originally retailed for $125, equal to $1,471 in 2025 dollars, demonstrating the remarkable success a limited production firearm can experience. While no first-year production Pythons have been offered at Rock Island Auction over the last 3 years, experts anticipate the value for these rare collectibles will continue to hold their own, and then some. Regular vintage Colt Pythons average $1,200 to $4,000, but first-year examples command double or triple those prices. The Python debuted in 1955 as Colt's premier double-action revolver. Designed during the height of American revolver craftsmanship, it quickly earned a reputation for precision machining, tight lockup, and buttery smooth trigger pull. Few guns could elicit praise like best revolver in the world and the finest production revolver ever made from experts like Jeff Cooper. At number 8, Heckler & Koch MP5 Transferable, the submachine gun that became a wealth generator. Examples of the Heckler & Koch MP5, one of the most famous SMG models in the world, are in particularly high demand in the auction world. Recently reclassified as fully transferable, one example including factory original sear trip, 5 magazines, and 2-position telescoping buttstock achieved a lofty price point at Rock Island Auction in May 2025. For instance, a transferable MP5 might sell for $15,000 now. They typically sold for $5,000 or less 10 years ago. That's a 200% increase in a decade. Unlike stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, it's highly unlikely that it will ever be worthless. Why the appreciation? The 1986 Firearms Owners Protection Act banned manufacture, import, and sale of new machine guns to civilians. Any guns manufactured and registered with BATFE after May 1986 cannot be sold or possessed by individual citizens. There is, however, over 250,000 existing pre-May machine guns perfectly legal to purchase. The supply is fixed by the 1986 ban, and demand by people who want to own and shoot them is steadily increasing. MP5s represent the pinnacle of this market. Iconic, reliable, and appearing in countless films and video games, demand only grows while supply remains frozen. At number 7, M16 and AR-15, full auto conversions. The platform everyone knows, but few can own fully automatic. As of September 2025, transferable AR-15 full auto conversions went from costing around $12,000 in 2003 to $30,000, with transferable M16s ranging from $20,000 to $60,000. A Colt M16 A1 sold for around $15,000 in 2003 and averages around $42,000 in 2025. M16 A2 models cost over $60,000, and factory original pre-86 M4 carbines sell for over $100,000. The appreciation curve is staggering. These aren't rare European imports. These are America's rifle, in the only configuration civilians can't get anymore. Registered drop-in auto Sears show even more dramatic appreciation. In 2003, an RDIAS AR-15 conversion kit averaged about $12,000. By the end of 2024, they averaged $50,000. Prior to the ATF's rule change requiring auto Sears to be registered as machine guns in 1981, new ones sold for only $29.95, equal to $107.02 in 2025. The increased popularity of online gun selling on websites like Gunbroker, combined with hugely decreased processing time for NFA applications from the ATF switching to online filing in 2023, has served to drive prices even further upward. At number 6, MAC-10 submachine guns, the budget machine gun that's not budget anymore. Current MAC-10 machine gun values range from $8,000 to $14,000. Throughout the late 1980s and early 1990s, transferable MAC-10s sold for $2,000 to $4,000. Demand remained modest, and many buyers viewed them as fun-range toys rather than serious investments. But as years passed and no new supply entered the market, prices climbed steadily. By the 2000s, MAC-10 values had reached $6,000 to $8,000. The 2010s saw another jump as new collectors entered the NFA market and disposable income increased among firearms enthusiasts, with perhaps 10,000 to 15,000 transferable MAC-10s in civilian hands. Exact numbers remain unclear. Due to incomplete ATF records, these weapons represent a limited commodity in a growing market. Every MAC-10 currently in the transferable market was manufactured and registered by the May 1986 deadline. No new ones can enter civilian circulation. Original factory configuration with matching serial numbers on major components attracts serious collectors. The MAC-10 proves you don't need prestige to appreciate, just scarcity and demand. At number 5, M60, machine gun transferable. The Vietnam War icon turned investment vehicle. The true gun value of Class 3 machine guns like the M60 have seen an impressive rise at Rock Island Auction Company. The transferable M60 machine gun produced by Rock Island Armory stands as a remarkable piece of American military legacy. Known for its recognizable appearance and powerful performance, it enjoys a loyal following among enthusiasts. Limited availability combined with robust construction makes genuine transferable models highly sought after and continuously valuable. Collectors regard ownership of a fully operational M60 as both a prized possession and a sound long-term investment. Its sleek, purposeful design resonates with firearm enthusiasts who admire both historical significance and technological precision. Collectors eagerly pursue any chance to obtain this fully automatic piece of military history, knowing future appreciation is virtually guaranteed. Transferable M60 command $40,000 to $70,000, depending on condition and manufacturer. DLO manufacturing models, Douglas Lawrence Ofinger, assembled an impressive number of transferable machine guns and side plates from 1977 to 1986, particularly appealed to collectors. At number 4, FN M240 machine gun. Reportedly, there are as few as only 11 fully transferable FN M240 general-purpose machine guns and approximately 17 limited pre-86 dealer samples in the registry, with the remainder in U.S. government property. That's it, 11 transferable examples for the entire civilian market. For collectors, finding an M240 machine gun for sale is always an exciting event, and Rock Island Auction Company has had the privilege of offering several examples in recent years. A DLO M240, outfitted in the style of the US M240B, using commercial production and military surplus components, recently appeared at auction. The MAG, Mitrailleuse d'Appui Général, general-purpose machine gun, was developed starting in the late 1940s and released in the 1950s. It combined tried and tested features from successful World War II automatic weapons into a versatile and reliable multi-purpose weapon. Adopted by numerous countries, the MAG and its licensed copies remain mainstay weapons worldwide. When only 11 transferable examples exist for the entire civilian market, prices reflect that scarcity. Expect $80,000 to $120,000 for M240 transferables, and unlike mass-produced firearms, these prices only climb as collectors hold rather than sell. At number 3, Stoner 63 Modular Machine Gun. In May 2025, a Stoner 63 with its bayonet and accessories set the world record for its genre by reaching a stunning $411,250. That's not a typo, over $400,000 for a single firearm. This is a testament to the scarcity, desirability, and investment potential enjoyed by this classic Eugene Stoner design. Developed with an eye for military sales, the 63/63A was issued on a trial basis in multiple configurations to the United States Marine Corps and select elements of Navy SEALs and U.S. Army Special Forces operating in Southeast Asia. The modular design allowed conversion between rifle, carbine, light machine gun, and medium machine gun configurations. Production numbers were minuscule. Few entered civilian hands before the 1986 registry closed. The combination of extreme rarity, innovative design, and Eugene Stoner's legendary reputation created the perfect storm for appreciation. When the next Stoner 63 hits the auction block, expect the record to break again. At number 2, Heckler & Koch HK 223 Prototype. The gun so rare, Rock Island Auction had only seen one. As the only example of its kind ever offered at Rock Island Auction Company, it's no surprise this registered fully transferable factory original prototype Heckler & Koch HK 223 selective fire rifle broke the six-figure barrier at auction. Manufactured in 1966, this was an evolutionary precursor to what became known as the HK-33. It appears to succeed the T223 prototype machine guns reportedly manufactured in very limited numbers on license by Harrington and Richardson as part of a joint effort with Heckler & Koch. The T223 were tested in-field during the Vietnam War by Navy SEAL units, specifically SEAL Team 2. Photo evidence indicates the HK-223 saw similar use. Once part of the Harrington and Richardson Factory Museum, this HK-223 prototype sold for an outstanding $117,500 in Rock Island Auction's August 2025 premiere auction. When you own the only known transferable example of a prototype firearm that influenced modern military rifle development, you're not just collecting, you're preserving history. At number 1, Chinese Type 56/AK-47 with Provenance, the gun that proves history trumps everything. This Chinese Type 56/AK-47, recorded as the property of a USMC veteran of the Battle of Hue, took home $210,000 at Rock Island Auction in December 2025. Stop and think about that. A Chinese-made AK variant, normally worth $15,000 to $25,000 as a transferable, sold for over $200,000. Why? Provenance. This specific rifle was documented as captured during one of the Vietnam War's most brutal urban battles. The Battle of Hue represented house-to-house fighting that defined the Tet Offensive. The rifle came with documentation, photographs, and a verified chain of custody from battlefield capture to the veteran's estate. Firearms with valuable provenance can see massive price boosts depending on who previously owned the gun or where it was used. George Washington's pair of flintlock saddle pistols, gifted by the Marquis de Lafayette and carried throughout the Revolution, represent the ultimate example. Adolf Hitler's gold Walther PP reached $114,000 at auction. But you don't need presidential ownership. The Type 56 proves that documented battlefield history from a significant engagement can multiply value tenfold. Popular culture plays a big part in collecting too. Smith & Wesson Model 29 revolvers are more valuable than other .44 Magnum revolvers because Clint Eastwood carried one in Dirty Harry. 12 firearms, 12 different paths to appreciation. From first-year Pythons averaging $29,950 to Stoner 63s breaking $411,250. From MAC-10s quadrupling in 15 years to M16 conversions jumping from $12,000 to $60,000. The pattern is clear. Scarcity plus demand equals appreciation. The 1986 machine gun registry closure created the ultimate supply constraint. Limited production runs create collectability. Historical significance adds premium pricing. Documented provenance multiplies value. While stocks crashed in 2025, these 12 firearms climbed. While crypto collapsed, transferable machine guns hit new records. While real estate stagnated, pre-64 Winchesters appreciated steadily. Gold rose 27%. These firearms? They rose faster, way faster.